The guy who ended up getting charged with a felony, he was like what? He wasn't actually engaged in any of the property destruction, and he wasn't engaged in any assault, and it wasn't, he didn't take anything. He took, I think, what, a selfie. He gets 8 months in prison. And it's the first felony sentencing. And I guess that's kind of the legal benchmark they want to set. The prosecution wanted 18 months behind bars. Now, the maximum sentence is 20 years. Now, the way that they were handling it is he got a single count. Paul Allard Hodgkins of Florida, he pled guilty to a single count of obstructing an official proceeding in June. And that is, I guess, disrupting what was happening at the Capitol, whatever. And I'm curious as to what the other sentences are going to be like for people. If he got, he essentially got, they were asking for 18 months behind bars. His attorney wanted probation without jail time. And it looks, that's just kind of, I'm just still 8 months. He's going to be eight months in jail. This is the thing that sticks out, is that there was not any really serious involvement from Hodgkins in what happened on January 6th. Now, you can talk again about January 6th and how much you dislike it, et cetera, but he wasn't even one of the first people in there. From everything that I've read about this guy, he wasn't even one of the first people in there. He wasn't engaged in any kind of property destruction. He wasn't taking anything, climbing on anything. He has a completely clean record. He has nothing on his record. He has 0 prior offenses. He is not even accused of assaulting anyone. He's not even accused of damaging anything. The charge rests on the premise that he stepped foot onto the Senate chamber floor. And he took a selfie with the guy, what does they call him? The media calls him the QAnon shaman, the guy with the buffalo head. He apparently took a selfie, and that was it. And he walked in. He was like one of the last people that walked in, according to some of the stuff that I've read with this case. Now, my thought is that if they're giving this guy 8 months for that, what about some of the other, that means there's going to be some pretty serious sentences for some of these other people. The people who engaged in the assault and the property destruction, there's going to be some serious sentences. But I really feel that they're really overplaying their hand with this case. You've got to be kidding me. 8 months because he walked in to the, are you seriously? 8 months?
They're justifying it as a deterrent for future quote unquote insurrections.
I understand that people or like prosecutors or whatever, what have you, they want to have a deterrence for any kind of shenanigans that would take place when the Senate is in session. I get it. But I feel, at the very least, I think that everyone can agree that this guy being the test case for this is a little much, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's a little much. He pled guilty. At the very least, I just think it would be like the same kind of sentence for trespass, wouldn't it? It's just my thought. But good heavens. So this guy is, and he's going to always have this. You know how, Google never forgets. You guys know how all of this works. He's never, ever, ever going to be able to live this down. And the defense was already saying, look, that's kind of, it's by itself is kind of a punishment. And they were saying that, he had a lapse in judgment and he realized way too late that he shouldn't be on the floor, et cetera, et cetera. But the idea that they have been trying to say that this guy is one of the insurrectionists, and by they, I mean Democrats, media, and even the prosecution, is ridiculous. An unarmed insurrectionist. Seriously, stop. You can condemn the violence and property damage without going and throwing yourself at the altar of hyperbole and saying that this was insurrection and that this guy's an insurrectionist. Come on.